It's in the open. Gets past the defense and he takes it all the way.
So thanks for being a CFU TV customer, and go Tigers.